All right, welcome to the video. In this one, I'll be talking about a $200 increase for Social Security, which will take effect in June. This increase will affect those who receive VA benefits, survivors of retirement disability SSDI, spouses receiving SSI, and retirement disability SSDI. I'll go over the specifics and provide explanations and clarifications regarding the topic of this video is what's going on, so let's get into it and go over the specifics. All right, so let's talk about the notorious $200 monthly hike that everyone has been hearing about for the past few years. I get inquiries about this all the time. Every week in the comments section below, as well as on a fairly regular basis, I receive emails from people inquiring about the specifics of the $200 monthly boost. Many of these folks may be receiving SSDI or SSI. I get queries like, are we included? And what about retirement? And what about survivors? And what about SPALA? And what about VA? And what about seniors? Again and over. Since I receive these inquiries frequently, I wanted to respond as soon as possible and provide clarification. As June approaches here as well, I've been fielding a lot of queries lately, so I wanted to go over the specifics of this. Keep in mind that this $200 monthly rise was first discussed more than 4 years ago, at the start of in 2020. A small group of laborers spoke up and suggested that beneficiaries receive a $200 monthly boost until the end of the year. Do you recall that part? It was something that many people avoided discussing, but I brought it up. That was only a temporary hike that they intended to impose back in 2020 because of everything that was going on at the time. Businesses were collapsing, a variety of problems were occurring, and people were receiving enhanced unemployment benefits. You recall how ridiculous it was? A lot of people were receiving free money all over the place, and some lawmakers said, hey, what about fixed income beneficiaries? Maybe we should be doing something for them too. Guess what? They never did. Did we all do it correctly? Yes, we all know how this narrative ends and how it goes back then. But a few years ago, no, that didn't really happen. It was only supposed to be released until the end of 2020. It was only a temporary $200 increase. But after that, things kind of fell silent for a time. Then, roughly a year and a half ago, to be exact, Bernie Sanders and a few of his Senate allies came up and reintroduced the social. I want to reiterate for you in this video. What I want to emphasize on June specifically because the Security Extension Act contains the famed $200 hike. For those of you who have been reaching out to me with questions, I hope this makes it clear. What you're asking is exactly what I want to clarify for you. But before we do that, let me say that you know who you are and that there are a lot of other individuals who may not have contacted you yet, but you have the questions. If you haven't already, would you kindly click the subscribe button located directly below the video? It's completely free to do so again, so please be sure to do so if you haven't already. To the channel once more for free. I'm here to you every day, researching, discussing, and advocating on your behalf. I've been saying this for about 78 months now. A lot is going on. I monitor the headlines. I've been saying that 2024 will be the year of Social Security. But here's the thing. A lot has been happening this year for Social Security legislation, including new bills, packages, and suggestions. They've been discussing various topics and adjustments that will be made. Low-income beneficiaries, a lot of things thus far. And as of right now, when I made this video, we're not even halfway through the year. That being said, there are still a lot of things to go right. And the closer we get to, I can assure you that there will be a lot more items released in November. The more drastic the changes that are thrown out there, the laws, the plans, and the like. If we think I'm available to you once again if needed. This year has been busy so far, but wait and see. It will only grow busier as the year draws to a close and beyond. There are a lot of things going on. If you haven't already, kindly click the subscribe button below. You can also feel free to share the video with your friends on my social media accounts. Thank you very much for your support. I appreciate you viewing. Let's chat to the specifics about this, all right? So, this is a really confusing topic. I say this because I see it in the comment part below. Okay, so there's a lot of information and uncertainty regarding this topic. Again and again, I'm always here to provide you with the information. I always say this because it's my responsibility and my dedication to you to provide you with information like this every day in these videos, whether it's good news or bad. I'm here to give it to you straight, no matter what. I'm not here to blow smoke or to tell you to sugarcoat things. I'm here to deliver bad news, whether it's medium news or just you know what's going on. To be honest with you and tell you precisely what's going on with this. Okay, I know that occasionally it could anger people, but again, would you like to know the truth about what's going on? Or would you rather that I just sit here and tell you things you want to hear, but there's a big difference once more. I won't just tell you a bunch of things that might not be true. To me, it's far more important to be honest and tell you precisely what's going on. Building and maintaining trust with you, as well as retaining your authority, is really essential to me. and I'm not going to let that trust slip. Not here, not now, or at the moment when I'm talking about it in a particular video. To give up that, all right? With that stated, let's talk about what's going on. I want to address a few queries that have come in over the last few days and weeks. You mentioned that you heard the $200 will start in June. Let's wait a moment. This is what it boils down to right now. I'm going to state it clearly and unequivocally. As of right now, the $200 monthly hike has not been passed. Now, let me state this very quickly. The Social Security Expansion Act is a piece of legislation that includes a $200 rise, but it hasn't been enacted yet. That being said, it would not be difficult for politicians to pass a bill raising the salary by $200 each month on its own. Indeed, they are capable of doing that. The key question is whether they have really done it. They are capable of doing a number of things, including passing stimulus checks tomorrow. However, just because they are capable of doing something does not imply that they have completed it successfully. A mile can be done in 4 minutes, but will I try to do it? Why not? I don't even want to try running a mile in 4 minutes, but if I trained, I could probably do that at any time. I'm using this as an example to illustrate that just because we can accomplish something doesn't indicate that we will or that we have. Does that make sense? At some time in my life, possibly many years from now. Whatever the case, long story short, for those of you who have been wondering, I heard they promised whatever. They said it's coming, and I can tell you this much. Legislators I can't assure you that it will arrive in June. But even if they succeeded, they were foolish to make that call since, as of right now, neither the $200 rise nor the Social Security Expansion Act, as of right now, a separate law has not been passed. All right, I would have seen that by now, and once more, I don't miss much. I'm not saying that I see every headline and every breaking story. I have a number of sources that I literally check through all day, every day, and this is definitely one of them that I have not seen crop up, okay, now again. That I see every single one, but I'm pretty sure I see most of them. We would witness this as well. This is the reason it needs to pass Congress. It needs to pass the House of Representatives, the Senate, and the President's signature to become law. Particularly in a year like this when, well, we know. Do you think any of these lawmakers would be quiet about what's coming up in November if it were to pass? No, they would be out there conducting interviews, appearing on TV, radio, and all over the place, beating their chests and exclaiming, "Look what we did, hooray for us. We did all this stuff right." They wouldn't just be living a life of, well, no big deal. Yes, everything is good. We're just going to pretend like we didn't do it well. No chance they would be everywhere breaking this one up, acting like we're the world's heroes and we did it well. We're not seeing that. So yeah, another reason to say no, regrettably, it is not arriving in June. Now, here's the thing. Is it possible that it will arrive at any point during the following 4 or 5 months? I'm going to say that it's unlikely, but that's just me being honest. Although it's unlikely, anything can happen. We occasionally witness strange things coming from lawmakers. Consider this. In 2020, for example. I've used this comparison in previous films, but this is a real issue that we can all attest to. Everyone is aware of the truth behind this, so let's go back to early 2020. In January and February, for example, we were all going about our lives as usual. Nothing strange was happening. We were okay. We went to the store. It didn't matter. Months later, in March, something happens. They tell you to stay at home, wear pajamas, eat cereal all day, and watch too much TV or movies.